Check out Paddy Power's latest football offer. Bet £20 on either team to win in the Liverpool v Arsenal match this weekend and get a £5 free bet for every goal they score in that match. Not available in shops. T&Cs apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.co.uk.
Welcome to the Racing Post football postcast. We're looking at the London Derby, Monday night, 8 p.m. kickoff, West Ham versus Chelsea, and should be a belter, gents, surely.
Yeah, I would have thought so, Dave. I think I'm going to oppose Chelsea here. I think they're a little bit short for my liking. Obviously the London Derby aspects will make it slightly more difficult as well. And I think the way that Chelsea have got this lead now, they don't have to go gunning for victories in these away games. I mean, I think we saw that at Burnley. You know, if they were, say, level on points with Manchester City or somebody, at 1-1, they would have been throwing everything forward to try to win the game. But they didn't quite do that because they don't need to do that. It's just about sort of managing the rest of the campaign. I mean, they've dropped points in 3 of their last 5 away games. Now, 2 of them were at Spurs and Liverpool. So, there's no shame in that. Yeah. But the other one at Burnley, I mean, they were a real short price there, didn't get the job done. And I just had a look. Last 4 away games in the Premier League, they've had 9 shots on target. That's not what you'd expect of a team that's going to win the Premier League. They've been very efficient up front, but I think they're reasonably conservative on the road as well. So I wouldn't be taking the odds-on prices there. West Ham without Antonio, but big Andy Carroll's back, and I think that's like a fair swap. Yeah. Very different players, but at least Carroll's back, and I think they can give Chelsea an awkward test.
Well, Mark thinking that Chelsea a little bit too short. Adrian, give us a quick show for the 90 minutes bet in there, please.
So West Ham are 9-2, the draw is 3-1, and Chelsea are sitting here at 8-13.
8-13. How would you play it yourself, Adrian?
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement there. I mean, I think Chelsea are definitely deserving of the 8-13. I've seen enough of West Ham at home this year, especially the 2 games against City kind of stick out where they've just been absolutely dismantled. But yeah, I have a slight feel if Fab is going to get overturned this weekend, I am thinking West Ham are probably the best placed team to do it.
There we go, James. You in agreement with that?
Actually, I mean, Adrian's mentioned the capitulations against City, but I think I think Chelsea are a very different style of
City were
team.
awesome as well.
Yeah. You can't see Chelsea turning it on quite like that. I thought maybe both teams to score could be the bet here. 4 of West Ham's last 5 games, that's copped. And in Chelsea's last 4 league games, and just looking at the recent head-to-heads, the last 4 in the last 2 seasons have all had goals at both ends. Maybe a little tickle on 2-2, but I think West Ham, they're just going to be bang up for this one, aren't they? And I think they can cause Chelsea a few problems.
It wasn't full strength Chelsea, but they did go out at the cup,
in the League Cup,
in the League Cup to West Ham. Obviously, there was a bit of trouble off the pitch that night, and I just think that kind of atmosphere that's going to be responding to that just makes this a more awkward game than, say, Chelsea if they're away to a team, let's say, that's sort of similar level to West Ham, I don't know, Stoke or something like that. I just think that derby atmosphere and everything could just...
Not convinced that's there at the Olympic Stadium, if I'm honest. Well, I think the bowling ground, definitely.
No, I think that I think as far as that new stadium goes, I think people are not as angry about it anymore. They've kind of accepted it. And I think it just needs something for lift off there, really. This could be the game where people kind of get behind it and it helps them. But I mean, I just think there'll be better 8-13 shots out there over the course of the next week or so.
Big Costa leading the line for Chelsea, do we think?
Yeah. I mean, that Chelsea team doesn't change, which is one of the reasons why they're top of the table. They've had consistency in team selection. I mean, somebody like Slaven Bilic has not had that for most of the campaign. Injuries, the Payet situation, but I think he's almost found his best 11 now. They're certainly a lot closer to it than what they were at the start of the season, and I just don't. I thought they were well worth their point at Watford. Probably should have won that game, and they're doing okay now. And this is not a gimme for Chelsea.
I ask what prices Costa to open the scoring. Adrian, I saw an incredible stat that 30 goals have been scored at Chelsea this season by Spanish players, more than any side in La Liga. So what price is Costa to open the scoring?
So Costa is 100-30 here to open the scoring, and if you wanted another Spanish player that might be doing it, Pedro, you can have it 11-2.
There we go, and Fabregas pitching in as well if he gets a run out. Right, let's move on to the Champions League before we depart, gents. We've got a couple of games next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Anything catch your eye, Mark?
Over 10.5 in the Real Madrid-Napoli affair. And you see, no, I think that's got to be high scoring, but the goal line's pretty high for that one. Real Madrid, of course, conceded 3 against Las Palmas last night and still didn't lose the game. That would be brilliant. I thought the best bet was Borussia Dortmund to qualify against Benfica. I've no idea how they managed to lose that game 1-0 in Lisbon. Obviously difficult now they've conceded, not got the away goal, and if they do concede, it becomes tricky. But I still think if they concede, they can score 3 against this a very average Benfica team, really. So I'll go for Dortmund to qualify.
James, you, it looks pretty competitive, barring the Arsenal game. All sides in with a shout of qualifying, perhaps still.
Barcelona against PSG. You guys
maybe not.
I've got written down Dortmund to qualify as well. As Mark said, I mean, they should really have a lead, not a first leg deficit. But unbeaten at home in the Bundesliga, beaten Bayern Munich at home. I think they can turn it around. And also, that Napoli Real Madrid game is going to be a feast for the eyes, and I think Napoli, around 15-8, they could be worth a little bet to win in 90 minutes, possibly not overturn the 3-1 deficit. But Real now conceded 7 goals in their last 3 league games before the weekend, and so there are
I think
chances.
as well. I think it's something like 1 clean sheet in 15 away matches,
Wow.
which is just absurd for a team that's so dominant, at the moment.
James, you would know better than most, obviously being an Arsenal fan. I'm sure you'll probably be watching that game from behind the sofa.
Is the Champions League still going on?
Any angle? Is there any angle in that game?
Arsenal traditionally, when they're faced with a kind of lost cause like this, like to kind of go 3-0 up in no time, and they're just killing you with the hope. But and I think Bayern have been stung a couple of times like that by Arsenal in recent years, and I don't think they'll make the same mistake.
The best tip for on Arsenal v Bayern is to watch Napoli versus Real Madrid. That's the best advice I can give to all listeners.
Adrian, any prices there? Anything catch the eye?
I think Arsenal at home, maybe. Bayern don't have to try. They don't have to put out their first team. I mean, 15-8 probably seems a little big for Arsenal, who could win it without ever touching that goal deficit. The other one is, I'm actually kind of the other side of the Dortmund-Benfica one. I think the lack of the away goal could make it very difficult for Dortmund, who, as of late, seem to have been pretty profligate in front of goal, especially in that Benfica game. They should have won that 2 or 3-1. They had a missed penalty as well. I think Benfica might actually be able to nip one there.
What are the to qualify prices, just quickly, both of the guys sweet on Borussia Dortmund? So
Dortmund are 8-11 fav, and Benfica are at even money at the moment.
Excellent stuff. Sound about right, gents? 8-11. Get stuck in.
Yeah. It's going to be a great game. I think that there's no doubt about that. Actually, it's going to be another 2 thrilling nights of Champions League action.
Excellent stuff. We've got plenty of weekend action as well. Hopefully, steered you in the direction of a couple of winners there. Join us next week for another football postcast.
Check out Paddy's new kicker feature. If you fancy your team to run riot, add a kicker to your bet. And if your team win big, you win bigger. Paddy Power, you beauty.